告诉你们一个真相，其实长得很漂亮的女生很难嫁给好男人。
I want to tell you a truth that very few people in real life are willing to admit. Actually, those extremely beautiful girls often find it harder to marry a truly reliable and good man. You probably think that beautiful women are always surrounded by suitors, so it should be easy for them to find a partner, right? But the truth is exactly the opposite. The more beautiful a girl is, the more likely she is to fall into the dilemma of hard-to-find love. Many of the women around me who are physically very attractive have been single for a long time. Some haven't had a stable relationship for over a year. Why is that? Because the more beautiful a woman is, the harder it is for her to meet a truly suitable man. First of all, they have known since childhood that they are good-looking, and they've long been accustomed to all kinds of flattery from men around them, especially those bottom-line-less sim-type guys who just keep pleasing and pampering them. Over time, many of them naturally develop a habit of being treated like a princess, even showing signs of princess syndrome. When choosing a partner, they become particularly picky. As soon as they encounter something slightly below their expectations, they will decisively walk away. But we all know that truly outstanding men will never accommodate you in everything. They have their own thoughts and principles. So the ones left behind are either low-value men who are inferior to them in all aspects, or players who never intended to build a serious relationship. To be honest, neither of these two types of men can bring happiness. Secondly, there's an even more common phenomenon. Many beautiful women have a kind of charm that attracts jerks. Some of them have been deeply hurt by scumbags in the past and have lost trust in love. On the surface, they may look cold and strong, but deep down, they're actually very sensitive and fragile. They are afraid of starting over, afraid of getting hurt again. So even when they encounter a truly sincere man, they often show a defensive and suspicious attitude, saying they are slow to warm up and don't believe in love. As a result, they miss out on genuine feelings again and again. On the contrary, those who are average-looking, steady in character, and know how to cherish life are more likely to build healthy emotional relationships. They have a peaceful mindset and don't demand too much from their partners. Once they meet a reliable man, they often enter marriage more easily and gain stable happiness. So, don't always envy the love life of beautiful women. Just because they look glamorous on the outside doesn't mean they're doing well emotionally.
咱就说除非你特别的牛逼，然后
Brothers, I'll be straight with you. Reality is just this cruel. Unless you are truly exceptional, truly outstanding beyond the ordinary, not just in a general sense, but either a high-ranking official with power and influence, or a boss with tens of millions in assets, someone who can make waves in society and whose words carry real weight. Only men of this level have the real confidence and capability to steadily keep a particularly beautiful, sexy, and eye-catching woman by their side. Otherwise, if you're just an average man, earning only 5,000 or 6,000 yuan a month, with no power, no strong family background, no extraordinary career, and no valuable social network, then don't fantasize about long-term stability with a stunningly beautiful woman. Even if you manage to get one by luck, chances are she won't genuinely be devoted to you, let alone be loyal. The more you don't believe this, the more you cling to fantasies, the more reality will slap you in the face in the end. Many men go through this. They once dated a beautiful girlfriend, got cheated on, and still refuse to accept it. Deep inside, they think, my ex was so pretty, how can I settle for someone less now? So they keep chasing beauty, keep getting cheated on, and keep getting hurt, trapped in a vicious cycle. To put it bluntly, once someone has tasted a peach, it's hard to accept the bitterness of huanglian. After dating a high-level beauty, many men just can't go back. Their standards shift, their expectations rise, yet they ignore the fact that their own conditions haven't improved at all. What's the result? Still getting hurt over and over again. And this is just during the dating phase. If you actually get married, things won't get better. The only difference is whether she cheats on you early or later. Some men get cheated on in the first year, others in the 5th or 10th year. Some even wait until retirement, only to see their beautiful wife dancing at the public square, hugging another man and saying, "Darling, I really love you. I never cared about my husband at all." What can you do then? Nothing. Because you can't control her, you can't handle her. This is reality. Many brothers refuse to listen and keep trying to tame a beautiful woman they simply can't handle. But if you don't have that kind of presence, that kind of strength, then stop making trouble for yourself. Those who marry extremely beautiful wives may seem glamorous on the surface, but deep down, they live in constant anxiety, because they know very well beautiful women rarely stay loyal. Sooner or later, she'll cheat, and he has no way to stop it. What you see is their happy appearance. What you don't see is the stress, pressure, and insecurity inside. So don't envy them. Don't blindly chase superficial glamour. It's not that beautiful women are bad. It's just that not every man has the qualification or the ability to truly keep such a woman.
穷人能娶漂亮老婆吗？给你解密两个真相。
Can poor men really marry beautiful women? Today, I'm going to reveal 2 key truths. First, truly beautiful women are often veterans in the game of love. Don't be fooled by them. Why do I say this? Because ever since they were young, they've been used to being pursued by all kinds of men. From their school days to their working years, there was hardly a peaceful phase in between. They are extremely skilled at stirring men's emotions, using men's resources, and taking control of the narrative. And ordinary men are simply no match for them in this battlefield of emotions. Not only do you fail to win her heart, you even lose your money in the process. This is essentially an invisible strategy that beautiful women have developed through years of experience. It's a skill they've honed over time. In contrast, women with average looks tend to be less shrewd in emotional matters. Why? Because no one chases them, they have no chance to engage in emotional battles, they lack real-world practice, and naturally their reactions are slower. So you'll find that many beautiful women, even though they're not very old, are already highly proficient in interest calculations, financial thinking, and social maneuvering, far beyond what ordinary men can imagine. If you're not well-developed personally, lack vision, or don't have strong emotional intelligence, then you'd better not provoke such women lightly. Otherwise, in the end, you won't even know who's actually playing who. The second truth is, suppose you are indeed just an ordinary worker, but by sheer luck you manage to marry a beautiful wife. If you don't have the ability to make a lot of money, then you must remember one thing. No matter how tired or hard life gets, it's better not to let her go out to work. Why? Because once she steps into the outside world and starts seeing all kinds of men who are richer than you, hold higher status, or have more charm, then your crisis begins. You can't control whether her heart gets swayed, and you can't block the temptations others bring. People can't resist comparisons, especially women. Once she starts comparing, she will become increasingly dissatisfied with you. Ask yourself honestly, brothers, if a tall, wealthy, stunningly beautiful woman from a well-off family sits next to you, even you might not be able to keep your heart steady. So what makes you think your wife won't waver in front of all those outstanding men? Many people say, cheating is the woman's fault, but in fact that's not always true. Often it's not the fault of the flower, it's that your wall is too low. It's not the flower's problem, it's that even a sweet potato vine can easily climb over your wall. That's the reality. You may have heard elders say, don't marry a woman who's too beautiful, she's not down to earth. It sounds like they don't trust beautiful women, but that's not really it. What they truly don't trust is whether you have the ability to support a high-quality marriage. Beautiful women are not impossible to marry, but you must have the corresponding capability to manage and sustain it. Otherwise, she'll only stay by your side temporarily, not settle down for the long haul. If you keep her at home and don't let her go out to work, she might even think you're quite good, because she doesn't see the outside world, so naturally she won't feel disappointed. This is the false sense of happiness brought by information isolation.
我今天说一个男生可能又不太爱听的现实。
Today I want to say something that might make some men feel a little uncomfortable, and that is, nowadays, for average condition men, marrying a beautiful wife is getting harder and harder. Even if you're willing to take over someone else's burden, you might not even get the chance anymore. Why? Because in this era, it's just too easy for beautiful women to make money. Have you noticed a very obvious change? In many service industries, such as restaurants, hotels, and cafes, the staff is noticeably older. Even in some high-end 5-star hotels, the attractiveness of the service staff has declined significantly compared to the past. Why? Because beautiful girls simply no longer choose these jobs. They have more opportunities to engage in work that is easier to monetize, and they don't need to rely on 9-to-5 service jobs to make a living. Of course, it's indeed not easy for a beautiful woman to make 30,000 to 50,000 yuan a month by herself. That's top-tier level. But the problem is, for an average beautiful woman, making 6,000 to 20,000 yuan a month is actually not that difficult. Whether it's doing live streaming, becoming an influencer, platform promotion, or working as an image assistant, as long as she looks good, she naturally has channels to make money. And when a beautiful woman can easily earn 6,000 to 20,000 yuan a month by herself, her standards in choosing a partner will naturally rise as well. She won't easily be interested in a man who earns about the same income, has similar resources, or operates at the same level of perception. Think about it, most ordinary men also earn between 6,000 and 20,000 yuan per month. In this case, even ordinary women may not be willing to date men in the same income bracket, so how can you expect a beautiful woman to be willing? So this isn't anyone's fault, but rather the entire social environment has changed. The paths for beautiful women to earn money are increasing, while those men who still hope to marry a beautiful wife just by having a stable income and a steady personality probably need to re-understand the rules of reality.
家人们，我之前非常的疑惑，为什么像我这样的人，我找不到对象？
Sisters, to be honest, I used to be very confused too. Why is it that a girl like me, who isn't that bad at all, and some even think I'm quite pretty, still can't find a boyfriend? Later on, I thought about it seriously and came up with a few reasons. The first reason might be, my standards for male appearance and men's standards for female appearance are completely on different channels. My ideal type is someone sunny and handsome, with good temperament, clean and neat. But in reality, the kind of guys who fit this image actually have a completely different taste. The girls they like are usually the sweet, cute, and gentle type. Although you might not clearly see the examples I'm talking about through a phone screen, I'm sure you can feel what I mean. That type of handsome guys and pretty girls usually have a fixed style. And as for me, how should I put it? I belong to the kind of plain-looking type that doesn't stand out much and doesn't look sweet enough. Then the second reason is actually a bit more hurtful. Nowadays, men's standards for choosing a partner have become more detailed and more picky. For example, those tanned athletic-type sports guys, all of them have strong bodies, muscles, and a sense of humor. The girls they like are usually around 1.65 meters tall, with a soft and cute voice, and a sweet face. But I'm a tall girl at 1.7 meters, and the moment I stand there, I look like an electric pole. No matter how you look, I just don't appeal to them. And those popular puppy boy types nowadays, they prefer girls who are 1.75 to 1.78 meters tall with a dominant goddess vibe. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of sexy and commanding aura either. So the result is, a girl like me, whose looks and height are stuck between pretty and not pretty, neither sweet nor powerful goddess type, and with a personality that's a bit too straightforward, I fall into the type that lacks clarity and distinctive traits. To be honest, those men tend to prefer either sweet girls or girls with a strong style. So now, I finally understand why girls like us, those stuck in the in-between zone, end up staying single until now. I wonder which girl stole the boyfriend I've always dreamed of?
真心劝一些男孩子嘛，如果你的条件一般，收入不高的话
To be honest, most beautiful girls nowadays are actually built up little by little with money. This is not meant to mock anyone, but it's just a reality. So I sincerely want to advise some boys, if your own conditions are quite average and your income isn't high, then don't keep fantasizing about finding a girl who looks extremely refined and stunning. Because you might not be able to afford the cost behind that beauty at all. You see her dressed glamorously, looking fashionable and exquisite, but have you ever thought, behind her whole look, from clothes, shoes and bags, to makeup and hairstyle, how much money is actually supporting that? Not to mention, even just a single skincare treatment, a visit to a nail salon, or a hairstyle done at a hair studio. Each of these could cost an average person several days or even half a month's salary. Some girls might also regularly do light medical aesthetic procedures. That's not something you can get done for just a few dozen yuan. At this point, you really need to think carefully. Can your meager monthly income really support her lifestyle? Even if she's financially independent and can cover all her expenses by herself, then what charm or value do you have that would make her feel being with you is more worthwhile than being alone? Beauty is never free, and choosing a partner is also a matter of balance. You want to enjoy her beauty, but she is also evaluating whether you possess a value that matches it. In the end, instead of blindly chasing appearances, it's better to first ask yourself whether you can become a truly attractive, capable, and responsible person. Otherwise, even if a beautiful girl is willing to get close to you, she might not be willing to stay by your side for long.
Actually, to be honest, although many men seem to be doing well on the surface by marrying a beautiful wife, in real life, most of them are actually suffering. You think marrying a good-looking woman is the beginning of happiness? Not necessarily. You need to understand, most women with outstanding looks have been praised and admired since childhood. Which one doesn't have some personality or temper? Think again, there are always suitors around her. Today, it's a man surnamed Lou bringing a big bouquet of roses. Tomorrow, it's a business owner surnamed Wong who directly sends her a high-end luxury apartment. The day after, a rich man surnamed Zhang gives her a diamond ring worth 100,000 yuan. A few days later, a boss surnamed Li drives a luxury car worth over 1 million yuan to take her out for dinner. These material temptations, she's long been used to them. You still want to act superior in front of her, lose your temper easily, or even point fingers at her. Why should she tolerate you? Frankly speaking, if she's willing to marry you, it might already be your greatest luck. If she gives you one more glance, you should feel secretly grateful. So what equality are you still talking about? So when you think it over carefully, many men who are truly happy in marriage, their wives are often not those stunning and dazzling types. They may not be breathtakingly beautiful, but they are gentle, considerate, and know how to live a real life. These are the most precious qualities in a marriage. Stop blindly treating marrying the most beautiful woman as a symbol of success. That might very well be the beginning of a disaster in your later life. Similarly, girls don't necessarily have to look for the richest guy, and guys really don't need to marry the most beautiful one. Whether someone is suitable to spend a lifetime with depends on personality, values, and lifestyle compatibility, not blindly chasing surface-level glamour. Do you think a man must marry a beautiful woman? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more similar content. See you in the next video.